think that I haven't seen racism and I haven't been in front of somebody that is looking at you as if you're not a fucking human being, you're wrong. So it pisses me off when I see a fucking president say that a human being is an animal.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your host, Bruce GNT, back with another video. This one's gonna be a little bit different. I was scouring through TikTok. Actually, I didn't even get to scour yet. I legit, I opened it up and this is the first video I saw. So I was like, you know what? Let me talk about it. And the reason I want to is because I want to make a few things clear and understandable. And it was something I was going to do over the weekend where I was going to compile like all the different, I was basically going to go over like all the things that Trump had, you know, pretty much passed in his executive order, go over all the misinformation and pretty much talk about, hey, look, you know, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, keep people informed. Because like I said before, I voted for him, don't like it, I don't really care. I don't love the guy. I don't really like him much either. That's not the thing I relied on when it comes to voting for him. I knew that once he came into office, he was going to do certain things. He's going to make certain changes. And then this weekend, I'm going to go over pretty much all of that and, yeah, explain to people and everything like that. But this video right here, I saw like a small snippet of it, and I was like, this is perfect. And I'm going to try to keep this one short because knowing me, I'm probably going to make this one long. It's 8 minutes, 27 seconds. Yeah, so I'm not even going to waste any time. Let's jump right in.
When they do it, it's a problem when I do it. Fuck them.
You fucked up. You fucked up, and I'm here to tell you why, okay? I did not fucking download this app to do this shit, but I can't see that and then go on about my day. I don't want to be this version of myself on this beautiful, wonderful app, but y'all drag it out of me with dumb shit like that. So let's fucking talk about it. Obama deported all these people. So why are you upset that Trump does it? All you did was solidify the argument that this is not a disagreement about politics. This is a disagreement about morals. It took me fucking maybe 3-4 minutes to look into this. I saw your post. I said, something's off. I looked it up. Here's what I found. Obama deported less illegal immigrants than both Bill Clinton and George Bush. But that's besides the point. He deported a lot of illegal immigrants all the same. A lot of them. So why would the left or the Democrats, why would they be upset when Donald Trump does the same? All you have to do is read a couple articles and realize that you can't just look at the numbers and make a comparison. Y'all do this in every single fucking argument. When you take something out of context, of course it makes sense. But when you place it back in its respective context, it doesn't make any fucking sense. That's why y'all dodging. What am I talking about? When Obama deported those illegal immigrants, he was looking specifically for criminals, took the time to look specifically for criminals or people that had recently crossed the border. Because if you can recently or you can cross the border actively in real time, that means you have an active open border, right? So he's taking the time to say, okay, not only do we have an open border, let's address that, but then also let's look at the illegal immigrants that are here and let's pick apart the criminals as best we can. He took the time. Where else did you fuck up, okay? When we're talking about Obama deporting people, he also put in protections to protect the younger illegal immigrants so that they're not subject to the same punishment that the adult illegal immigrants are to, or that the criminal offenders who are also an illegal immigrant are to. It's almost like how you have juvie in the real world, in our society. You see how that works? The whole thing, the whole point I'm getting to is that Obama took the time to do that. But you know what Obama didn't do while he was deporting all those immigrants? He didn't try to take away birthright citizenship.
So the first point I want to talk about, everything he says is absolutely correct. I agree with it wholeheartedly. The only thing is that I want to understand that if Trump is doing the same thing, and I'm not trying to, because I'm not agreeing with the first girl on the first thing. I don't care. He was called the deporter in chief, and I know he deported less people, but he was also accused of putting children in cages. That was the other thing too, because a lot of people like to forget about that. And then, because what happened is that kind of transferred over. So when Obama came out of office, like Trump pretty much kept doing the exact same thing, essentially. And then the whole, you know, putting children in cages thing kind of like people looked at Trump and was like, oh my God, he's putting people in cages. It was already being done during the time, when Obama was in office. Look up Flores versus Lynch, and then if you look up like different proceedings, because it wasn't cages per se, it was like detention, like centers, detention camps, I want to say. Like literally, if you look it up, and I'll try to put like it in the description. Like if you look up ACLU's article on it back in 2015, they talked about it, like how he was separating families and he was having children in unsafe conditions, but then they kind of found out it wasn't really unsafe. It's a whole thing, but yeah, that was going on during that time, and then Trump also got blamed for that. I'm not trying to discredit him and say that he's wrong, but a lot of things were going on with this immigration process for the past 10 or so years, even longer than that, where it was like, okay, a lot of it doesn't really seem all that copacetic, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, no. And then not only that, those protections that are in place for those children, I am pretty sure that they're still in place. These are already in place for the children. So it's not like Trump is pulling them and ripping them from their family, because one, he said several times, him and Homan, his border czar, that they're focusing on criminals first. That's what they said. And they said several different times, hey, look, if we catch an illegal and they didn't do anything wrong, but let's just say they're just illegal and they're with someone that has committed a criminal offense, they're just going to send them along with them as well. They're not just going to let you go, which is fair. I mean, Dr. Phil was with Homan when he was doing like some of these ICE raids and everything like that. And I mean,
TDA's on notice, and ICE officers across the country are prepared to go out and target public safety threats, but TDA is on top of that public safety threat. So their days are numbered. I can't wait till we get an administration to take care of these people. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. He's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with.
Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really?
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So you guys got your main target just now, but you got somebody else. What just happened?
So our main target was released by a sanctuary jurisdiction, not honoring a detainer. That person was released back into the community, and when we went to go find him, he's with somebody else who was previously removed from the United States.
When we find the bad guy, he's probably with others that are in the United States illegally. They may not be a criminal priority, but we're not walking away from them.
They're not focusing on children and families yet, because he is going to send people that are illegal back overall because you're here illegally. I come from an immigrant family. I see nothing wrong with that. You came here legally, you have to go through the proper channels, because the people that came here the proper channels, they had to go through that same process. But be that as it may, we're gonna let them cook.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're just gonna glance over that? He didn't undo an executive order that protected people of color and women from discrimination in the workplace. He didn't do that.
That's another misinformation too. And it's so much of misinformation that literally on Wikipedia, a trusted / most untrusted source out there literally said in its headline, media outlets mistakenly said that he got rid of the act in 1972. So he can't, and like I said, no shade to his brother, but a lot of people were talking about this, and I looked it up. The minute I heard about it, I looked it up, and I looked at the executive orders. That executive order had nothing to do with the act of 1972, because he can't get rid of that with executive order. That's unconstitutional. You cannot discriminate against someone based off of race, gender, sexual identity, sexual preference, religion. You can't do that. That's within the 14th Amendment. So there's no way for him to get rid of the EEOC, I believe. There's no way for him to get rid of that. That was erroneously said. And you could look it up yourself. If you don't believe me, you could look it up yourself. I did the research. Trust me, I looked it up. When I heard that, I was like, I don't rock with that. That's stupid. Looked it up, realized it's unconstitutional. He can't get rid of it. That's it. They made a mistake and said that. So, like I said, no shade to this brother, but that's incorrect. Yo, what's going on? This is post-production, Bruce. And I want to pay this brother some respect and like answer, not really answer, but kind of address all the concerns that he brought up. So he said he wanted to end birthright citizenship. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm not saying I'm down for that, but I understand why. Because since its inception, it's kind of been a point of contention to where a lot of people feel a way about it. And that's because when it was first introduced, its main focus point was to address all the Africans and African Americans that were in this country due to slavery, and they weren't considered citizens even though they were living here all this time. That's what it was for. That was his initial point, and it made those people citizens. Over the course of years, other immigrants started using it for their benefit to say, okay, hey, look, I'm here now. I have a child here. I'm a citizen because of my child, anchor baby type stuff, you know what I'm saying? And people have been talking about this for years. This isn't new. Now it's getting headlines, but like I said before, I come from an immigrant family. I've been surrounded by like just immigrants in general, so I already know a lot of the history when it comes to that. I might even do a video talking about that. But I know for a fact that the main issue is that they have people that come from other countries while they're pregnant, women, and they have their children here so they could be anchored here. That's the thing. I don't have the numbers on it saying, oh, it's a whole slew of different people. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that that is a thing, and it's always been a problem, and people have voiced it being a problem. So it's not like him getting rid of it and wanting to get rid of it is a, big surprise. And then not only that, to be completely fair, since that's part of the Constitution, that's a constitutional thing, it's an amendment, he also can't get rid of that just outright. Executive orders don't work like that. Now the Supreme Court, because essentially what happens is that he said, hey, look, I want to get rid of this, sent it off. The Supreme Court went, no, it's not how that works, and they can block it. It's like if you want to get rid of anything else that deals with the amendment of the Constitution, he can't just say, hey, get rid of this. No, because we don't have a dictator. That's not how that works. Despite what people are saying that we have a dictator, that's not how that works, But that's just the point I wanted to address. I was rewatching the video. I was like, damn, I didn't talk about that. But yeah, like I said, I don't agree with him getting rid of it or wanting to get rid of it. It probably won't work. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, he's right for saying that. Like, it's something that he wants to do, and I can see why a lot of people have issues with it.
Did he? He didn't try to look at all of the illegal immigrants in the country and call them criminals and get all of them out here. He took the time. So what's the difference? When Obama looks at an illegal immigrant, he sees that there's a problem, but he also sees a human fucking being. When Trump sees an illegal immigrant, he sees an animal. Don't call it a fucking stretch. Why do I say that? Because there's a video of him saying it.
That's also misinformation. And I don't like saying it because it makes it feel like I'm caping for Trump, and I don't like him. But my thing is, I'm for truth. I saw all those news because I remember when they were talking about it, I was like, what the fuck? He was talking in reference to MS-13, and I'll show some videos after the fact. But look, and at the end of the day, look, you could take it as you will. I know because when I end up seeing the source material, because I just looked it up, he was talking in reference to gang members that had brutally murdered, I think this 22-year-old woman. I can't remember her name, so I'm not going to disrespect her, but I'll have it on the screen. That's what he was in reference talking to. He didn't say every single last one. Every single time he talked about it, he was referencing MS-13 or other illegal gangs. That's what he was talking about. But like I said before, you don't have to believe me. You could feel that it was taken out of context. I think it was. I saw the source material. I feel it was. I'm going to show it on the screen. If you don't believe it, okay, I don't really care. That's just a fact.
He says word for word, immigrants aren't humans, they're animals. And they used to call people.
He did not say word for word that immigrants are humans, that they're inhuman, that they're animals. That's not what he said word for word. Now, if you don't believe that, and like I said, I had the video. If you don't believe that, that's fine. I don't care, but it's there. He didn't say word for word, immigrants are animals. That's not what was said.
Together, we're going to restore safety to our streets and peace to our communities. And we're going to destroy the vile criminal cartel MS-13 and many other gangs. But MS-13 is particularly violent. They don't like shooting people because it's too quick. It's too fast. I was reading one of these animals was caught and explaining they like to knife them and cut them.
But now ICE is the only law enforcement agency that cannot use our databases to find the bad guys. They cannot come in and talk to people in our jail unless they reach a certain threshold. They can't do all kinds of things that other law enforcement agencies can do. And it's really put us in a very bad position. It's a disgrace.
And we're suing on that, and we're working hard, and I think it'll all come together. Because people want it to come together. It's so ridiculous. The concept that we're even talking about it is so ridiculous. We'll take care of it, Margaret.
Thank you.
We'll
There could
win.
be an MS-13 gang member I know about. If they don't reach a certain threshold, I cannot tell ICE about them.
We have people coming into the country, or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country. The 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia who was barbarically murdered by an illegal alien animal. The Democrats say, please don't call them animals. They're humans. I said, no, they're not humans. They're not humans. They're animals.
People that look like me, 3/5 of a human being. I know what it's like. I wasn't there in 1860, motherfucker, but as a black man who grew up in a small town in Mississippi, if you think that I haven't seen racism and I haven't been in front of somebody that is looking at you as if you're not a fucking human being, you're wrong. So it pisses me off when I see a fucking president say that a human being is an animal. Don't fucking compare the two. Every single argument, y'all want to take it out of context as if it makes sense. Donald Trump doesn't care about which ones are going to the farms every day or which ones are cleaning our business offices every day or cleaning our homes. They don't care about the ones that are here working, paying tax dollars and just don't have the documentation. They want all of them. They want.
I see nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I'm from an immigrant family. My family came here and did it the right way. I know people that did it the wrong way, but over time they did it the right way. I see nothing wrong with, hey, we have proper channels to do something. You didn't do that. You have to leave. And it's not even saying that you can't come back. Because when you get deported, and let's just say you committed a crime, and I know this because I know people, you usually have like a thing saying that you can't come back for 10 years or whatever have you. I know that for a fact. People that overstay their visas, they usually can't come back, I think for 5 or 10 years. I'll look that up. But that's how that works. I'm sorry. You can't come here illegally and then be like, oh, well, I'm doing the right thing. True, but that's not the point. If I steal bread to feed my family because we have no food, I still stole bread. And that may be a false equivalency to some of you, but it's still the same thing. And I have a heart. You know, trust me, I do. And I feel for those people that are struggling and really trying hard to do what they gotta do, because I know the immigration process is not easy. It is not easy. I know people that have been in it for years. It is not an easy process. I understand the allure of coming in illegally, but at the end of the day, that's just not what you can do. I don't make the laws, but if it says, hey, you can't do this, it's not, well, you can do it if you have a good reason. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. And is that fair? No, it's not. But that's just how it is. I would like for it to be different. I really would. But that's just not what it is.
All of them. That's the fucking difference. He thinks he's just taking out the trash, getting the animals out of America. Obama was getting out the illegal immigrants that were either committed crimes where they were from or were committed crimes here. One of the two.
He got rid of both. Yeah, he got rid of, you can look it up. He got rid of both. It was such an issue of him getting rid of, and when I say getting rid of, because when they would catch them, they wouldn't just like release them. It was kind of like a switch. They used to release them, you know, send them back, but now they were kind of holding them for weeks, sometimes months. I remember that being in the headlines, and you can look it up yourself. It wasn't like he was just like, oh, well, you know what? No, if he caught you, then you had to go back as well. It was all the same thing across the board. It's just he prioritized the ones that had committed crimes, much like what this administration has said and what they've been doing so far.
The problems. Not all of them. That's the difference, and that's what pisses me off when y'all make these kinds of posts. So when people cut you off or people don't fuck with you or people don't want anything to do with you, stop thinking it's a difference in politics. No. If Trump truly wanted a unified America and a colorblind America and equal opportunity for all and a rise of the middle class and affordable housing and affordable health care, why the fuck would any American not be on his side? This has nothing to do with fucking politics and policy.
It actually does. It's because there's a lot of misinformation. I didn't vote for Trump the first time around because I was in training and whatnot, and however that worked out, I don't think any of us voted. That was very weird. None of us got to vote. And I didn't vote for him the second time. I didn't vote for Biden either, because when Biden said that bullshit about how if you don't vote for him, you're not black, to a black kid that used to get questioned about my blackness because of how I spoke, how I acted, and things that I liked, that didn't sit well with me. I heard that and I was like, oh, word. Bet. Yeah. So I voted Joe Jurgensen, third party. This time, like I said before, I voted for Trump because what Kamala was offering was stupid. And I'm going to do a video talking about why it was stupid. It's a little bit late, but I'm going to do it anyway. And yeah, you know, but there's a lot of things that I pushed out about him because I remember hearing about how he's this, that, and the third from way back when. And then when I started like really looking into things, it was like, oh, he didn't really say half of that shit. He didn't. Now, what I've always didn't like is the fact that he runs his mouth. And I think this time around he's learned his lesson because watching past stuff and then watching current things now, I see that the way he comes about things and how he speaks to people, vast difference. And I could be wrong, but I'm noticing a difference. And like I said before, I'm going to follow all the things that he does, and we're going to talk about the things that I like and don't like, and we're going to address them to hold his feet to the fire, because that's our right as American citizens when we have politicians and, you know, people that govern us representing us. It's our right to question them and be like, hey, look, I'm not feeling that. But I'm going to say like how I used to say when he first got into office, leave him alone and let him F up if he's truly an idiot, and then we could talk about it then. But reporting on every single last thing that he does as like this great infraction isn't gonna do anything. It's not. Sit back, wait for him to run his mouth like he normally does, say something stupid or do something stupid, and then go off. But until then, leave it alone.
Season legislation and shit. It's morals. And I know y'all like to say, oh, the Democrats take the moral high ground all the time. Let me be the first to say I am no fucking role model. By any means. There is no moral high ground for me. I just know how to take my index finger and point at bullshit. And you trying to compare Obama's deportations to Trump's deportations is bullshit. I guarantee you when Obama looks at an illegal immigrant, he still sees value. He sees somebody that has the same extremities and organs and anatomy as he does. Trump doesn't. Trump sees them and literally thinks that they're not a human being. And for the illegal immigrants that have not committed crimes, they just want to, imagine you're escaping a country that's being run by the fucking cartel. You have no fucking choice. They will kill you if you stay there. So what do? You do the one thing. You come to a fucking land that might actually have an opportunity for you, and all you do is follow the rules. You work hard, you pay your taxes, you stay out the way, you're kind, you're a good neighbor. And then all of a sudden, you got millions of people calling you an animal and a criminal when you've done nothing but the same thing they did every single day. You just don't have the same fucking papers and status. Y'all are some of the most pitiful, disgusting, baseless humans that are incapable of evolving your mind in any way. I too have had hatred in my heart. I too have been wrong about things. I too have broadcasted things and promoted things. And after receiving more information or more data or certain feedback or certain conversations, I can realize when I did or said something wrong. And more than that, I can own it. I can be humiliated. I can be embarrassed. But I can say, hey, I was fucking wrong. Y'all can't do that. And that's the reason y'all are so fucking stupid. If you don't think you're ever wrong, how the fuck do you learn something new? There's people out here right now that still believe the earth is fucking flat.
Yeah, he talks about the earth being flat and how those people are stupid. Those people are stupid. If you think the earth is flat, you're stupid. But look, like I said, there's no shade, no harm to his brother and everything like that. I actually like the fact that he's telling people what it is, because that's what I want to do. Yeah, no, the fact that he's able to have humility to say, you know what, I was wrong, I had hate in my heart and everything like that, power to you, honestly, because not a lot of people can humble themselves to just say that. You know, I quite often say when I'm wrong, and that's why I'm doing what I'm trying to do now, because I want to call myself out and be like, you know what, I messed up. That's what I want to do. I want it to be known that, hey, look, I hold myself to a standard, and I want people to hold me to that same standard that I hold other people to. You know what I'm saying? I think it's hypocritical for me to talk about other people and then people can't talk about me. That's foul. That's weird. But to address his point, look, I understand, and I said it earlier too, I understand when people come from different areas, because both sides of my family are immigrants. Both came over in the 70s. It's not fair, but I don't make the rules. I don't. And my thing is this, right? If we were to let everyone in that's not a criminal, because the amount of people that are coming in that as opposed to those that are criminals is very small. There's not that many it's not like 100 people come in and 50 of them are criminals. No, maybe like 10 of them are criminals. Maybe. That's still high. But my thing is this. We can't just let it be a situation where because they came in, because they're not criminals, because they're escaping some type of injustice in their own country, that we just go, oh, okay, well, I mean, they don't have the proper documentation, it's fine. No, we have rules and regulations. We have things that's set in place for people to go through. And yes, it's not fair, but it is what it is, because not everyone's coming from that situation where they're running from cartels. You know, because I don't like how people try to make it seem like this is only like a Mexican issue. There are Chinese immigrants, there are Thai immigrants, there's Sudanese immigrants, there are Honduran immigrants. These are all these different type of immigrants that are coming in, but they only really focus on Mexican, which is pushing a narrative I don't really like. There's all different types of immigrants of all different shades and colors, you know, and not to lessen what they go through, but not all of them escaping some type of poverty or cartels. They're just coming in illegally. And like I said, there is a standard. Not so much standard. There is a rule set. Hey, look, you have to come in this way. We can't just turn a blind eye and go, well, okay, they're not criminals and they're paying taxes. No, we can't do that. Because that creates a slippery slope of, okay, hey, look, you know, they came in illegally, but they're doing the right thing. Okay, he came in illegally, but he's trying to do the right thing. Okay, he came in illegally and he's not really working and doing anything, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine. No. We have a standard. Hey, look, you can't come in illegally. Point blank. That's it. You come in illegally, we send you back. See nothing wrong with that. I don't. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't. And if you want to debate that, then sure, we can. I'm not trying to create an echo chamber where only my thoughts and my opinions get floated out there. You want to call me out? Sure. 100% do it. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to do here. But you're not going to have me budge on that. You came in illegally. You're not supposed to do that. There's thousands upon millions of other people that did it the right way and worked hard to do it the right way. You can't just skip the line. That's not how that works. But that's really it. And like I said, over this weekend, I'm gonna like put together a whole video where I'm addressing all the different executive orders that he's passed and misinformation, because like what he said with the equal opportunity for like employment. That's incorrect. He can't overturn that. That's an amendment. Like, that's unconstitutional to overturn that. And a lot of people got that misinformation, you know. And I'm not opposed to being proven wrong. I know I'm not wrong with that, because I looked it up in depth. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Comment down below as well. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings, your passions. Be respectful. You know, I don't care if you say whatever you have to say, but do it in a respectful way. You know, this is where we trade ideas and, you know, and thoughts and information to really grow ourselves and be better and productive. You know, that's what it's about. And subscribe if you want more. Peace.